2025 is approaching fast, and by now I usually have my journals ready for the new year. Over the years, I've tried many different journaling techniques, and this year I was not super happy with my method. So I went on a journey through my old journals and planners to uncover patterns and lessons from the past. And I've decided on a new approach for hopefully a more regular and intentional journaling experience in 2025. Looking through my old journals, I noticed some interesting patterns. Every year I start strong. January, February, and March are packed with entries and perfectly filled templates. But by April, life happens and my journaling habit takes a nosedive. The middle months of the year are usually basically empty. Then in September, I pick it back up, I guess by habit, since this is when the academic year starts again. So I'm ending the year with a decent amount of entries. Half of the year missing from my journal is something I really want to fix. I want to keep myself motivated next year. Another issue I found was the unfinished journals. Each year I'd leave so many blank pages behind when I moved on to a fresh one. It felt like such a waste. But the biggest revelation was realizing that combining my planner and journal into one didn't work for me. I used to have both separate, a journal for writing down my thoughts and keeping a record of what was happening in my life, and a planner for school that I'd bring everywhere with me. When I started working and my personal and professional life started to blend, having two different supports seemed like too much to maintain, and I grouped everything into one journal. But this actually made it more difficult for me to write consistently because 1, they got so bulky throughout the year that carrying them everywhere was a hassle. 2, as soon as I missed a few entries, I would get discouraged because I'm very attached to maintaining the chronological order of my journal. I wouldn't use it again until I caught up with the missed days, but eventually I'd fall so far behind that I'd just give up altogether. I also realized I never read my old journals. Going through them gave me such a sense of accomplishment. It reminded me of everything I've been through, all the challenges I've survived, and the growth I've achieved. So instead of hiding them away in boxes, I've decided to display them where I can easily access them. It'll be easier to flip through whenever I need perspective or encouragement. One last thing I learned is that although I prefer the flexibility of blank journals, I love the reflective sections of pre-filled journals. They prompt me to think deeply about my experiences and emotions in ways I might not have on my own. So I wrote down my favorite prompts to use throughout the year, and I'll be including them in my 2025 journals to help me stay mindful, track my growth, process my thoughts more meaningfully, and focus on what truly matters. After all this research, here's my plan for 2025. Separating my planner and journal again might be the key to consistency. So my mission was to find a planner that answered all of my needs. One of my goals for the next year is to better understand how I use my time and optimize it because this year I often felt like I didn't know where the hours went. So having one page per day where I can log what I do during the whole day is important to me. Initially, I wanted it all, yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily pages, but I couldn't find the perfect journal, and I figured it would be way too big because I still need to be able to travel with it. Thinking back about my journals at home, I realized a weekly spread was probably useless for me, but still, nothing in the stores, so I ended up on Amazon and found the perfect journal with the right layout and the right size. Using smaller notebooks might be a solution to keep me excited and motivated for my journaling practice, and it will reduce waste. It's also great for when I travel, and I'll finally be able to use all the empty notebooks I've accumulated. 2 new things I want to integrate in my journaling practice in 2025. The first one is shadow work. I especially want to understand the control freak in me and why I'm so stressed all the time. For me, this is separate from my daily journaling. I already have an esoteric journal that I use to keep record of my card pulls and rituals, so I'll use it for shadow work as well. The second one is language journaling. Having moved to Spain this year, I want to make more efforts to learn Spanish better. I recently participated in a free online workshop hosted by Jo Franco where she taught language journaling as a way to learn a new language, and I loved it. Been journaling in Spanish every weekend ever since, and I plan to keep up the practice next year. So to wrap up, here's what my 2025 journaling system looks like. My daily planner, 1 page per day to organize my life, track habits, and set up routines. My daily journals, smaller notebooks for capturing life stories, adventures, and random thoughts. My esoteric journal to explore spirituality and shadow work. Work notebooks, I'm keeping 2. One for real work tasks and one for my passion project, which is this channel, Life in Progress with Sarah. A reading journal, which I started at the beginning of the year and which I've been loving. It actually made me more than double my yearly reading goals. And my language journal. I'm so excited to start fresh with this system. Journaling is very personal, and what works for others might not work for you. This setup is designed to help me stay consistent. Hopefully, it will give you ideas to adapt your own practice. I'll keep you updated on my progress and show you how I've been using all these journals, let's say middle of 2025 for a journal update. I'm super curious to know what your journal setup looks like to get some more inspiration, so let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content about my personal growth journey. Let's learn and become our best selves together. See you next week.